Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Restricted Republic. My name is Justus Knight. I can't thank you enough for being here. So much news to cover. I don't barely know where to start. I promise you we'll be shifting gears and assuring we are putting focus and attention on everything that Biden is doing and how that could impact America. And we've stayed on that track. And this weekend, he provided for no shortage of information we have to cover, including an unacceptable executive order, part of many unacceptable executive orders if you care about America first. Biden's now opened the door to China to go ahead and come on into our power grid. No big deal. No big deal, man. What's the problem, right? What can go wrong? I'll show you that here in very short order, but before I do, if you haven't joined us over at Restricted Republic yet, I certainly hope you will. The audience over there has grown greatly as we have seen now the tech titans, the mainstream media complex, government in itself is attempting to suppress and silence all things conservative. They want one message gone, and through the multiple executive orders I'm going to show you here and at Restricted Republic, you're going to understand why they need to do that. They're going to do everything from take over the entire election process, to allow China into our grid, to assure that President Trump can never run again. And why do you think they want to silence all right-side media? Because anybody who will speak against it, they don't want to hear a word from. So if you haven't gone to Restricted Republic, you need to now, because all the lights are about to go out on everybody you know and love. And don't think for a minute it's not going to happen. We're seeing evidence beyond anything we have ever seen before. Right now, 14 days for free on us simply for checking it out. Get over to restrictedrepublic.com. Also, if you haven't gone over, and unfortunately now I'm going to have to put Gab first. I'm going to, not in a bad way, but the fact that I was hoping MeWe would be a better alternative, but now they too are beginning the suppression of conservative voices. It goes on. You see why Parler was so important. Gab, however, has not done that yet. So I'll leave the links below to each because nothing's worse than Facebook or Twitter. So I'll continue to leave those, but most importantly, go over to Telegram, look up Restricted Republic, join us. We send you a notification every time we publish a video. But now let's get on with this broadcast here. We're going to try a few different things today. By the way, I want to make sure you have better access to the full screen of what's going on as this information becomes more cumbersome. Let me know what your thoughts are on the format. Blinken, Biden's pick for Secretary of State, vows to end Trump's America First. Well, if that was the worst of it, it'd still be horrendous, but it gets far worse. And the reason it gets far worse, I'm going to read from this article. President-elect Joe Biden picked for Secretary of State Anthony Blinken told a Senate panel Tuesday that he plans to revitalize American diplomacy after 4 years of tumultuous foreign policy. We will show up again. Well, if it's just showing up again, that would be one story. But giving everything America away is a completely different story, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Blinken said in opening remarks as his Senate confirmation hearing got underway in the building that 2 weeks ago was the scene of a deadly riot. Working across government and with partners around the world, we will revitalize American diplomacy to take on the most pressing challenges of our time. He goes on to state, the reality is that the world doesn't organize itself. When we're not engaged, when we aren't leading, then one of two things will probably happen. Either some other country tries to take our place, but not in a way that advances our interests or values, Blinken said. Or maybe just not the right country takes the place, right, Blinken? Or Joe Biden? In certain countries, you want to take control. I'm going to show you how you dictated that here shortly. Or maybe just as bad, no one does, and then you get chaos. Either way, that does not serve the American people. Humility and confidence should be the flip side of Americans' leadership coin. No. Running at the forefront like we always have and taking control of the national landscape to assure American interests are first are the correct answer, but of course not in your crazy world. This on Breitbart, exclusive Joe Biden's ties to China present national security risk if he becomes president. This many months ago. Well, now Joe has become president. It becomes even more paramount of a concern. It becomes even more focused when you get into this. I just want to give credit where credit is due. Natalie Winters published this article, Biden rescinds Trump order banning Chinese communist involvement in the U.S. power grid. It involves this executive order here on your screen. I'll hop out of your way. executive order on protecting public health and the environment and restoring science to tackle the climate crisis, January 20th of 2021. Within this executive order is this subsection, Executive Order 13920 of May 1st of 2020, securing the United States bulk power system is hereby suspended for 90 days. Now, the key part of this is also the Secretary of Energy and the Director of the OMB shall jointly consider whether to recommend that a replacement order be issued. Well, what is Executive Order 13920? It's this one, securing the United States bulk power system, our power grid. This is one of the amazing moves that Donald Trump made. I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, find that foreign adversaries are increasingly creating and exploiting vulnerabilities in the United States bulk power system. You know, the thing that keeps our lights on, our houses flowing, our heat, whatever it may be. You know, basically the basis of the United States. We kind of wanted to keep that internal and protected. I mean, a novel, horrible thought, right? To anybody on the left watching this, maybe this is what you need to start opening your eyes to as they start to tear down these policies. The vulnerabilities in the United States bulk power system, which provides the electricity that supports our national defense, vital emergency services, critical infrastructure, economy, and, well, just our way of life. The bulk power system is a target of those seeking to commit malicious acts against the United States and its people, including malicious cyber activities, because a successful attack on our bulk power system would present significant risks to our economy, human health, and safety, and would render the United States less capable of acting in defense of itself and its allies. I further find that the unrestricted acquisition or use in the United States of bulk power systems electrical equipment designed, developed, manufactured, or supplied by persons owned or controlled outside of the United States. I'll read this for you. For basically what it's stating here is, why would we allow anybody who's not American to provide parts for our electric system in the event that they can control those parts and shut down our grid? Well, that would make logical sense to most people, but somehow that doesn't make logical sense to the Joe Biden administration. And this gentleman who's going to make the decision, the Secretary of Energy, signs order to mitigate security risk to the national electric grid, even though everybody prior thought early. Well, now the OMB is going to make a determination. The OMB, according to this right here, the National Secretary of Energy and Director of OMB shall jointly consider whether to recommend a replacement order be. Just why don't you remember that? Because top Biden pick led group which took sponsored trips to China for pro-Beijing organization and co-authored the reports in kind. The gentleman who's in charge of the OMB. That seems to be a conflict of interest that we've been warning about. Natalie Winters has been warning about, but nobody seems to listen. We're not even putting into the equation yet federal criminal investigation into Hunter Biden focuses on his business dealings in China. We'll just keep that off the table for 1 minute because somehow Biden found this was important enough to reverse everything. You know, the same Hunter Biden who took the presidential motorcade, which we have all these National Guard troops because Washington is just so dangerous right now that they need to stay there to assure everything goes okay through this impeachment trial. Well, it's not so dangerous that Hunter Biden can't stop the entire presidential motorcade with president and granddaughters in tow, by the way, to make sure he gets a bagel out there in Washington, D.C. I guess not quite that dangerous. You know, everybody's got a craving to go to the Biden makes first D.C. restaurant visit as president to call your mother bagels. That's right. The bagel spot also happens to be co-owned by his administration's COVID czar. I mean, no conflict of interest in this administration whatsoever, but we'll just get all things Hunter out of the way. We'll get all things China out of the way. We'll get all the spotters that caught him over there. The same troops that, you know, even certain senators believe shouldn't be there anymore. Why are the troops there? Senator Cotton asks. Well, he's also made some very auspicious decisions lately. So is Biden's China policy is about to be just as assertive as Trump's, but more effective? Well, I'm going to claim that that's not the truth. I've shown you why that's not the truth now. We obviously have conflict of interest abound. A policy that would make common sense to everybody in America. Let's protect our own power grid, make sure we're in control of all the parts, all the ability to turn it on or shut it down. No, let's go ahead and open the door to China to come in and control and put their parts into our power grid. How does that make sense to anybody? I don't care if you voted for Joe or if you didn't vote for Joe. That should make zero sense to you. And everything I'm about to cover should make zero sense to you. Some of it's going to be here. Some of it's going to be restricted. Some of it's going to be over at Rumble. But remember, just get on Telegram, and no matter where we broadcast, you'll find out where it is. Because if you want to know how they just took over our entire election system, we're done. We're done. If this bill goes through, it gives full control to Congress to basically do whatever they want to do. I'm going to read it to you. But I wanted to get you this piece first, this China piece first, because this is unacceptable. But, like I promised you, we'll continue to disclose and uncover everything that's going on in this world of noise that they don't want you to get to the key points, and that's what we do at Restricted Republic, key points only. We keep it on target with the most important articles. If you haven't gone there yet, please do. That is going to be the safety net for you to continue to get the information that is critical that the mainstream media will never give you, because they just want all those conservative buffoons off the air, because they don't want counterpoints. They want agenda only. Get over there now, 14 days for free. Join us on Gab, Restricted Republic. Join us on MeWe for right now, Restricted Republic. Hopefully Parler will come back on. Get over to Telegram. Make sure you keep informed. Godspeed and God bless. Until next time, Justus Knight, signing out.